these three areas?
So in Kampala, I would say, like you mentioned, our Kampala has the Kampala district, but so we supply parts of Mukono and Wakiso. And I would, like I've always highlighted, as a corporation, we've tried to make progress to make sure that the people in all those areas are well served. And we've done a number of things, which I've always talked about, with support from government, to make sure that we have the capacity to deliver the water. Now we have the 2 plants in Gaba and Katosi, that we make sure that we have the water to supply to the people. Then now what we're trying to do is to see how we make sure that that water that we have can be now distributed to all the customers. So what I can say is in Kampala, we have enough water. Most of the parts of Kampala district are getting 24-hour supply. The parts of Mukono, I would say where we have supply, because Mukono is very close to our new plant of Katosi. Also there we have reliable supply. The areas that are still very challenged are the parts of Wakiso, especially Wakiso, Kachiri, Bulenga side, Nansana. And I've mentioned we have the water to provide them, but what we're trying to do is to work on the pipe work. And we had the contract signed, and the project has started to make sure that even those places have adequate supply. Now the other part that also we are experiencing, which is a slight challenge in the city, and I think some of the customers in Ugolobi, especially 6th Street, where we're having roadworks. And you've seen a lot of roadworks are happening within the city. Sometimes we get a bit of interruptions because of the fact that the people working the roads have to also transfer our utilities. So you find that we might have some bit of interruptions for some of those customers, and we're trying to do everything possible, working together with KCCA and the contractors to make sure that those interruptions are minimized. So those are some of the challenges we're facing, especially in the CBD, where we're having quite a number of roadworks happening. But I think the assurance we give our customers is that we've tried to improve the work with the people working on the road so that we have minimum interruptions as far as the customers are concerned. And we want to appreciate most of the customers, because when they find, if they encounter any challenges, they're able to reach out to us, and then we're working day and night to make sure those cases are handled as fast as possible.
Now, engineer, we must commend Kampala Water for having ensured that the water is available, because when you look at water connection in Kampala, I must say that there has been tremendous improvement in terms of coverage. But the question is, how reliable are people assured that once we have this connection, then we shall have the water? Because it's a different thing saying, I have water, but how reliable? Amazi gagenda. People will tell you, you know, some people tell you, wake up very early so that you can get water. Otherwise, when it comes to around 10, you've not yet gotten water, you're doomed. So reliability.
So reliability, one, like I said, in terms of quantity, for Kampala Metropolitan, with the 2 plants we have, that is Gava and Katosi, we're able to produce close to 400 cubic meters per day. That is 400 million liters per day. And yet the demand is around 300. So it means that in terms of ability and capacity to meet the demand, as a corporation, we definitely have it. So government has invested in that, and that is a good plus for us. Because before, we were rationing because we didn't have enough water. Right now, we have enough water to supply the people. The challenge we might have, why some cases we have interruptions, is like I mentioned earlier, especially in Kampala, where you find that they have worked on some of the roads and relocating utilities. So you might find some people are challenged. But also there are cases where there are planned maintenance activities, both on our side, but also on the side of Umeme, because we also, to a large extent, depend on Umeme. Most of our plants is very hard to operate them with backup power in terms of generators. It's practically very, very costly. So we rely a lot on power, So there are cases, but in most all these cases, we communicate to our customers that we have a planned shutdown. But as even we didn't plan for that, we make sure that we minimize the intermittence that would come. But so there are areas, especially also within Kampala, where there's been a lot of development. And you find like that side of Kololo, you see the kind of developments that are happening. What used to be a bungalow now is a 25-story building. So what that means is that we have to upgrade our infrastructure. So some people might experience low pressures because the pipework we had there was planned for a smaller community, and all of a sudden the demand has gone up. But all these areas have been properly profiled on our side, and we have done specific interventions in those areas. Right now we have a program to upgrade most of our infrastructure in Kololo so that we meet the expectation and the demand for now and in the future. So there are areas that we're trying to work on to deal with the identified challenges in those places. But I think the overall assurance we give that overall within Kampala, the most important thing is we have the water as a corporation to provide to everyone, and also we have the capacity as an institution to deal with any challenge that can come along our way.
Now, I move to another very big area of concern. What services or what are you offering for the urban poor or muntu wa bulijjo? Because you find that most of the people living in Kampala, yes, you have the high end that have this piped water, they have the land titles, but there is these our common brothers and sisters that may, first of all, not even have a proper place where you can install a tap to say. Yeah. So how are you handling this? What are you offering to these people, engineer?
That's a very, very good question. And as a corporation, this is a very, very important group of customers for us as a corporation, and something that we've realized over time. And that's why one of the things we did as an institution is to recognize that that's a special category of customers. And we did two things. One, we have a special tariff for them. That we realize omuntu awansi, not everyone might be able to earn what you're earning or able to afford the services that we provide. So we have a special tariff for the pro-poor or omuntu awansi. And for this category of customer, a 20-liter jerrycan, we charge it 25 shillings. But also what we try to do is, in Kampala especially, we realize for us to be able to serve this group better, we created a special branch for them. So we have what we call the Urban Poor Branch. And this branch is specifically designed and instituted to serve omuntu awansi. And the people we have there, the profile of staff we have there, are not the staff you're going to find in our normal branches. So we have a particular branch within Kampala that is supposed to serve omuntu awansi. On top of that, we've tried to come up with different offerings. So we have the tariff, where a 20-liter jerrycan goes for 25 shillings, but also the technology we use to provide these services is a bit different. For your case, if you have a domestic account, we're able to give you a connection to your home. Like you mentioned, most of these people don't have ownership in terms of where they're staying. And also they might not even be able to plumb water into their homes. So we have provided public water points in most of those places. So we have in Kampala, we have almost close to 8,000 public water points spread across our service area, targeting omuntu awansi. And on those points, like I mentioned, a 20-liter jerrycan goes for 25 shillings. So the idea behind is that any person should be able to afford. So if you have 100 shillings, ideally, you're supposed to get 4 20-liter jerrycans. But the challenge we've faced with those public water points is that in most cases you need an operator to run it. So whereas the corporation is charging 25 shillings for a 20-liter jerrycan, the person operating that tap also now charges the people buying. So we charge 25 shillings, but he sells the jerrycan for 200 shillings. So at the end of the day, what we're trying to achieve, we fail to achieve it because
Yes.
the poor person still ends up paying a jerrycan for what? 200 shillings.
Now,
So that has been
200,
our,
those would have been 8 jerrycans?
yeah. So ends up getting one because the operator also has to what?
Survive.
And to survive. So that's why we have gone to now a different technology. Those are the prepaid meters. Or we always say tap zaka sumuruzo. And we've had them for some time, almost from 2006.
I think my producer can give me that water, that prepaid meter. Let's have a look at it as we discuss.
So we had the first technology we first introduced, and this one had kind of, the Kasumuzo look different. So the idea behind is that any person gets a token, you load money on your token, and you find all these taps spread, like we had 1,400 of them in Kampala. So as long as you have that token and you've loaded money on it, you just go and withdraw. So with that token, you get a jerrycan for 25 shillings. So with that meter, there is no operator. It's just a machine. But that's the technology we had until recently.
Just a minute, engineer. Please, if I can have that prepaid and that token on the screen, because I want our viewer to have it properly. The token and also the prepaid meter, that water source. If we can have a picture of that, I know we can find it somewhere. And also the token, let's have those on the screen so that our viewer can understand that actually if I'm to get water from this source, I'm supposed to pay 25 shillings. And also to have a look at of how the token looks like.
Even the token looks like,
Actually, it's similar to something these fuel stations use to tap. Then when you're going to get fuel. But we shall be having that. I'm very sure my producer will be bringing it up on the screen. Both the meter and also the token, how they look like. Yes.
So we had the old technology and posed quite a number of challenges as well, because then we had people vending. So you had to have a vendor moving around selling the credit. Now we brought a new technology, and these are the meters that we're installing right now. We're going to install a total of 2,600 meters within Kampala. Now this is a modified technology. Even the token now looks different. But the idea behind, again, here is that we, as a poor, if you, I don't want to use the word poor, but umuntu wa wansi, wherever you are, we are able to register you. You get your token and you're able to access water at any of these machines for 25 shillings. The beauty now with the new technology is that previously we had a vendor moving around selling credit. But with this other one, you can load using mobile money. Any payment, e-payment option we have in National Water, you can use it. And you get credit on your token. You find wherever that machine is, you're able to draw water. The other change we've made is that we want to recognize omuntu awansi as our customer. Previously, we had the meters or those machines as the accounts. But now with the new method we've introduced, the customer, if you have a token, you have an account. So omuntu awansi right now, that token is your national water account. So even if you move from Bwaise and you move and you go to Kamocha, you still carry your account with you. So previously we just were selling tokens without registering them as accounts.
Yes, that
so
is
now
the
that's
token.
the token. So you get that one, it becomes now your water account. So we want to make sure that...
And that is the machine.
And that's the machine. So you get your token, you load now money, you can use mobile money to load money onto that token. Now you find that machine, you put the token on the machine and you're able to draw water.
It looks something very easy for someone to move along with.
Yeah.
More like a key holder. I can even, put my keys on that.
So now, whoever has that has a water account.
Oh.
So you're registered as a customer of what? National Water. And we're able even to monitor how much water you consume on a monthly basis. So far we have, and now, right now under the project, we're giving them for free.
Free?
Yes, the token.
So that token is what I insert in that, that is the water source?
The machine, the hub.
That's the water hub?
Yeah, that's the water
hub. So if
hub.
I have my token...
That's the ATM now.
That is the ATM machine?
Yeah.
So then the token is the card?
It is the card, yeah.
I just go insert that in there?
Yes.
Then water starts flowing?
Water, you just determine how much water you want to draw. 5 liters, 10 liters, and you start getting water. So basically, that's how the technology works.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, where do I get the token? Because you've told us, for now, the token is free of charge.
Yes.
For the urban poor.
Omuntu wa wansi.
Omuntu wa wansi nsubi
Kati
wa
Robert gwe tosagikuwa.
ate muntegeera kuki? How do you get to know?
Now, what we're doing is that one, we're trying to put these points in places where we've identified that most of these people are
You
staying.
just have a look at the token.
So this is the token.
Something as small as this.
Yes.
This. Now, on this, I can load money.
You load money.
Technology. I load money when I find a water source.
You just
I just push
even
it in.
if you stay in say Wakiso and you've gone to Mukono and you find our machine in Mukono, you get water from Mukono with that account. So the beauty is that with the Omuntu wa wansi, we know most of them are they are mobile. Today you stay in Waise, the next day you find yourself in what? In Kamocha, or you find yourself in Atete. So, but you still move with your account, national account.
Yes, with my token.
And wherever you have money here, you go, and wherever you find the machine, you're able to draw water for 25 shillings a jerrycan.
Engineer, this is something very interesting.
Yes.
Viewer, and I want to thank National Water and Sewage Corporation for this level that you have reached. The urban poor are also thought of because they have been exploited. Now, this thing I'm holding, I just insert it there, just like
Yes.
you go to withdraw money using your ATM. I know many Ugandans now we are used to ATMs, and it's not something new for us. So I just love the fact that these so far are free of charge. Where we find them, please explain to us.
So now, what we're doing is that we are installing these meters. We're working together with the LCs. So we've been visiting these places. We mobilize with the LCs. People are supposed to fill in a form because you register, like I said, this is registered as an account. So you fill a form, you have to present your national ID, and then you get a letter from the LC. That's what I said. How do I know that you're the poor person? The LC person should tell me that this person is, I can't determine whether you're poor or not, but the your leaders down there will able to tell you that this person qualifies for this kind of what? Service. So with the letter from your LC and your application, we're able to register you as what? As a customer, and we give you this token. So we've registered so far 4,000 tokens have been issued out. Under this arrangement, we have close to 100,000 tokens because each meter, we're going to do 2,600 meters, and each meter has like 50 what? Tokens. Yeah. And if this token, you lose it, again, we're able to replace it. But replacement will cost you now around 15,000.
So I can load as much as?
You can load as much as you have, and your money will always be there. So you just keep withdrawing. You need 1 jerrycan, you go and withdraw. 25 shillings. You get a 20-liter jerrycan. You want 2 jerrycans, 50 shillings. You get a what? Your 2 jerrycans. And that's the kind of service we are trying to provide to the people in the disadvantaged places.
Well, very interesting here when we get to know that the urban poor are thought of and with this technology. Now, I'm also concerned, how do we get the machine within our community? Because water should not be very far from where I stay. And we are looking at communities, Katwechi Nyoro, Wai, Senkere, those communities, I don't expect to find this in Kololo.
No.
Engineer, if I found it there, in Naria, in Muyenga, then you tell us, okay, not to say there are no urban poor there.
Yeah.
But I believe there are those that are more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they need this. So what is the selection for you to install these machines?
We've profiled, we have the whole map of our service area. We profiled where most of these communities are located. We've worked together with the local authorities because there are 2 things. One, we need to identify a landlord, a person who is willing to offer a place where to put this machine. So we've gone through a very extensive exercise of visiting all these places, identifying where there is need and where people qualify or eligible to get the service. And we work together with the LCs to identify the particular locations where we're going to put these meters. As I speak right now, we have covered the whole of Kamocha, because you saw Kamocha down there, Kanyogoga, all those places are very challenged places. So the whole of Kamocha and all the zones, because we go up to that level, we've tried to identify all those places. We've touched a bit of Kanyanya and also a bit of Bwaise. But we're going to move, even there's part of Kansanga where there's a community there, where we need to identify these Najana Kumbi. So the places are properly identified and mapped on our side. And the most important thing, we're working very closely with the LCs who help us to identify the particular locations. And then also, in terms of registering the people who are eligible. So the machine is free. No one pays for it. The tokens right now, even these ones are free. So all we need as a corporation is the community to say we need this service together with the LC. We come identify where to put it, and we install it there at no cost. And then even we register and use these machines at no cost. So basically that's what I can in summary say. But most cases, all these places where we're going to put these machines have already been identified. But if there are places out there where the community believes they need this service, then also they approach us, and we're able to move there and work together with the communities and identify the spot, and we're able to install. So we have quite a number of machines to install.
Well, there are so many messages coming in here, very many for you, engineer. But please, let's restrict ourselves to the topic of today, which is water for the urban poor. But of course, one said, don't let engineer go without commenting on the issue of meters. That we shall handle towards the end of the show. Now, I have many people, and before, because I want you to say I didn't read your message, engineer, this is now for Kampala only, so far?
It is for Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono.
Kampala, Wakiso. That's Kampala Metropolitan.
Metropolitan, yes.
Now, one says here, hey, I'm from Umbale Central. Have you reached there? Definitely not in Kampala Central.
But there will be plans to upscale to other places. But, the biggest need has always been what? Within here.
Good morning. Thanks for this technology for the urban poor. I think I first witnessed this technology in Kibukube district. Samuel Bright from Bujiri, where he talks about it in another area. Then, good morning and thank you so much for the technology. My question is, how are you going to ensure those machines are well protected? Sometimes the people who install are the people who come and take them. Because for us, the ordinary people, we don't have that knowledge. Now, someone is already asking.
Yeah.
You come, you install, we don't find our thing tomorrow.
That's why for us, our approach is we invested a lot in the community engagement. Because technology can never provide you the service unless you have the community involved and engaged. And that's why I asked, is the community that approach us?
Oh, I think I have also people online. Please, you can send a message, but also feel free to call in. The number is on your screen. And Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya, General Manager, Kampala Water. Good morning. Hello. Good morning to you.
I'm Abi calling in from Kasundaki.
Yes, please go ahead.
So I want to ask the engineer, what do they have as a plan about these national water meters? Every time you apply for water,
you're breaking off?
There are no meters.
What?
There are no meters.
There are no meters?
That's
okay, I have so many messages on meters. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to go that direction because most of the messages, many are talking about water. Now this one has lamented. You are only talking about Kampala. When are you extending that Muntuwa Wansi water up country? Are dying? Is everything good for Kampala? Then he also says, now going for LC verification, why can't you make it easy for us to register online? I get my token. How sure are you that even the middle income won't take advantage of that token? Think despite LC verification and corruption. Thank you so much. He's from Rwanda but stays in Kampala. Good morning, sir. Hello.
Morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for bringing that gentleman on the TV.
Yes.
I think that's one of the good departments that have done.
Well, he's just commending you and commending that is national water, and to be more specific, Kampala water. They're just thanking you for the good work and saying it's one of the active departments in the government. When you touch the urban poor, people appreciate because they feel Omuntu Wawansi has been catered for. Now, okay, let's first look at some of these questions because one is waiting for the answer. He says, how sure are you with the LC verification that this is not going to end up having the middle class?
I think there's no system that can be 100% perfect. But also what we also appreciate that the middle class, because there are different service levels, most of these people would want water plumbed into their what? To their homes. With this technology, we are only allowing the point to be within a public space. So it means that there's no way we're allowing these meters to be tapped and connected into someone's what? Home. So, but also the identification of the location, like I told you, we mapped these locations. But the way our communities are, there's a lot of overlaps. You find in Kamocha, you're going to find Robert staying with the what? With the Omuntu Wawansi. So in a way, we're not going to go so much to say that, okay, this one who is there can't what? But we're sure that overall, this system is going to benefit the people that it's targeting. There might be a few cases where people might benefit, but I think for us, our objective is that the other people should what? Should get the service and want to trust. That's why we want to work with the existing structures. The LCs are very important for us in this system. And this is still the community running it. So one person talked about how do we make sure that it's protected. This is their water. And that's why I say we invested a lot in the engagement of the communities. Because this is their water. They're the ones to protect it first. And where we've put it and where we put them, the communities have been very protective of this technology because it's solving a problem that they've been having.
Another one says, Engineer Mohamud, how fast can I get that token? He says, we have that meter, I think if I got, he says, we have that meter, we have that water source in my area.
Yeah.
But how I need it fast, very fast.
The token, like I told you, actually someone talked about we're making even registration of tokens online. So that you don't have to, but you have to get a letter from the LC that indicates that you're eligible for this service. And how to get it very fast, you can get it as fast as what? Possibly if you approach our office, our branch. I told you we have created a special branch for this community, the Urban Poor branch, but any of our branches in Kampala, you can visit it and you have your account registered, and then we verify whether you eligible, and after that verification, and if you're within the project area, we'll be able to give you this token. Yeah.
Now we have to go to the meter issue since time is running. People saying, when are we getting our meters? I'm from Kajansi and it's taken us a lot of time to get the meters.
I want to first of all appreciate our customers for the patience they've had. There's a time where we had a small hiccup with meters, but what I can say as of now, we have solved that problem. We have all the meters that are needed to provide services to the customer, especially those that have applied and have paid. Right now, as a corporation, we've made a commitment. We're clearing all the backlogs. We have the meters. So that's the first point, that no one should tell you we don't have meters. And I think some customers are being told by different people that there are no meters. I want to assure all our customers that we have all the what? All the meters. And right now what we're trying to deal with is clearing the backlog, because I think we had generated quite a big what?
Big number.
A big number of outstanding connections where people had paid. So here the issue of clearing what? Backlogs, and the idea is fast in, fast out. So you could have paid 2 weeks ago. It's not that we don't have meters, but we're trying to see how we clear the people who had paid what? Earlier. We want to make sure by end of this month, all the backlog is what?
It's clear.
It's cleared. In Kampala, particularly, we try to make sure that most of the customers that had paid way back have been what? Connected. And by end of this month, or latest mid next month, all the backlogs would what? Will be cleared.
Will be cleared.
So the message is that we have all the meters. Yeah? For customers who are paid for new connections, all the meters are there. And the hiccup we had before has been solved. We're not going to have the similar challenges in future.
Well, messages are so very many, and callers are still calling, but I have to let engineer go. We will have him answer more of these to leave room for sports. Uganda Cranes at it again, so I have to leave room for that. But before we go, in a minute, your final remarks.
So for me, I want to first appreciate our customers because National Water customer is the reason we exist. I want to thank all our customers for the support they give us, and we want to commit as a corporation to continue serving them better, and we want to urge them to clear their bills. And also we want to fight people stealing water. So let's work as partners and as a team. We want to serve you better, but also want you to support us by paying your bills, but also helping us deal with those that are stealing our water.
Well, thank you so much, Engineer Mohamud Lutaya, for your time. And of course, our viewers, the messages are very many. We couldn't have all of them through. And all those that have tried to call and are still calling. We hope soon we shall have him back, because I've seen the meter issue is raising so much concern. And also, thank you, National Water and Sewage Corporation, for thinking about Omuntu wa bulijjo. Have a lovely day.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust